A very good afternoon, Zimbabwe, and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. At this point in time, we are looking at Comrade Neva Maswera Sei. He's an ally of Xavier Kasukuwere and does also have a soft spot on Vice President Chiwenga. He says Zimbabwe exclusive. Category 1 security detail at hand is that the deep state and security apparatus have now formally advised Mnangagwa to resign peacefully and avoid the public humiliation that would come with any attempted resistance, a development that shook him to the core. So this is what Comrade Neva Maswera Sei is saying, and literally he is simply telling us that the military has told Mnangagwa to formally resign peacefully from his position as the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. They say Mnangagwa has since communicated the message to his family and his closest allies, who have been the loudest in pushing for constitutional amendment to enable him to be in power up to 2033. His sons are understood to be now preparing to leave Zimbabwe before his exit. The latest developments triggered by the pressures by the respected Geza-led contingent of senior war veterans have rattled the entire dynasty cabal, whose prepared lapdogs and functionaries have started going quiet. With reality kicking in and fast, many ZANU-PF senior members are reported to be now stampeding for accommodation in the Chiwenga faction. Led by Geza, war veterans and deep state power brokers are now waiting for feedback on when Mnangagwa will be tendering his resignation. Failure to comply with the directive will lead to an ultimatum being given, which will be then followed by the opening of mass protest floodgates on the streets. So this is it, Team Zimbabwe. This is what Comrade Neva Maswera Sei has said. And I want to take this opportunity to comment. I think I did a live program when I talked about, or I commented about Xavier Kasukuwere's utterances where he said Mnangagwa is gone, has been removed. And I said, not yet. I do not mean that Mnangagwa will not go. I think I'm one of the people who have been saying 2025 Mnangagwa is the critical year for Zimbabwe, is the critical year for Mnangagwa to leave power, either peacefully or otherwise. So I have said, I don't see Mnangagwa simply handing over power peacefully. That one, I do not see it happening. This is my own view. It's my personal view. I do not see him as somebody who is simply going to say, I'm now resigning, take over power, and just like that. I'm struggling to see that happening. Why? There is a lot of resistance. The major question is, who is going to take over? So, I believe that if there is such a message which has been sent to Mnangagwa, the next thing will be for him to request a meeting with the same people to say, okay, come, let us sit down. Who do you prefer is going to take over power? That is the next thing. And once that has happened, they will need to talk and agree who takes over power. Let me tell you one thing. Mnangagwa is 100% against VP Chiwenga taking power. He is 100% against Kasukuwere taking over power. I'm telling you this from a reliable source. He's 100% against. Those two taking over power is 100% against it. Which means he will still have a say in terms of who succeeds him. Because according to the records available, he is the winner of the elections, according to Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. He was elected. So the only way is either he resigns, it's either there is a coup, it's either there is an impeachment. These are three things. One of the most difficult decisions Mnangagwa could make is to say, I'm firing you and you. and then he appoints that one. What are you going to do if such a situation comes? He can do that. Because chatiri kufana unzwisisa ndechekuti varume ma-war veterans ana vanhu. Ma-war veterans ana vanhu. I'm telling you something which needs to be considered by people. What have you ever thought about Mnangagwa suddenly calling someone to say, Shamar, we are putting our differences aside. By this hour, you are going to be my vice president. With immediate effect. I'm firing so and so. And you are going to be my vice president. And immediately, he announces it that he has fired so and so. And he has appointed so and so as vice president. What do you think is going to be the result of that? In your own view, what do you think is going to be the result of that? Because according to the constitution, he can hire, he can fire anyone at any point in time. So by the time the military is waiting for ABCD to respond, for ABCD to do ABCD, he would have made such an announcement. And the shocking part is the person who will be appointed vice president then will shock you. It's a possibility yandiri kuudzai. One of the options dzaainadzo on the table. So once that happens, he quickly then resigns. What happens soon after that? Before you make any move, he resigns from power. After resigning from power, he makes a public statement about the 2023 election results, the real results, and he publishes them. What are you going to do? So what we need to understand is that this is the reason why I say this is a very, very complex matter, guys. It's not an easy matter. You simply say Mnangagwa akutoenda. It's a complex matter. That is the reason why in that video I said, unless someone goes to him, talks to him, makes him understand, Mnangagwa is not a pushover. Ukungoti zvakaitwa Mugabe zviya, it won't happen like that. So I just gave you one option. One option is simply to say, the moment yamuri kumove amatanks muchimapinza muroad, iye ari kumuvawo zvake apparatus yake. What is next? It's a clash. What is next? It's a war. And a war does not have a winner. You are both losers. And then what happens next? Marovana, mapfurana, mapedzana. What happens next? So you will not avoid what is supposed to happen. One way or the other, what is supposed to happen, you won't be able to avoid it. So some people might think we are here to bootlick anybody or to think otherwise. No. I am not saying Mnangagwa will not go. Mnangagwa will definitely go. But how is he going to go is where everyone need to ask this question in all honesty and understand. It's not going to be easy. It's not just like a walk in the park kuti tinongomuka tonzi haasipo atoenda. It's a different story altogether. So I hope and believe that those who understand me will be able to understand me, and they will not misquote me, and they will properly listen to what I have said. Honorable Kasukwere, I have so much respect for him, and he said, and in my own view, personal view, I don't see him going just like that. For sure, Mnangagwa said, andidi kuti Kasukwere aite take over. He said it, andidi kuti Chiwenga aite take over. I am telling you from very 100% reliable sources. Who do you want to take over? I don't know. So it's very, very interesting to note that as Zimbabweans, we need to understand the political dynamics as they are. Mnangagwa is not a pushover. He is going to resist. If sense is not pegged into his head, it's going to be a very, very dangerous game. So I'm not refuting, I'm not dismissing this cable. It's most likely that it happened. I haven't confirmed from other sources, but it's most likely that this might have happened, because a lot is happening at this point in time, and a lot of information is being suppressed. What is in the public domain and what is actually happening on the ground are two different things. So it's very, very interesting to see that a lot is happening, and we will be expecting anything anytime from now. So it is what it is in Zimbabwe. We will be watching very, very closely to see what will be the decision of Emmerson. But I have given you one of the most critical decisions Mnangagwa will make if he is cornered and if he is put into the most difficult part. Because what you have to remember is, if Mnangagwa resigns today and there is a vice president, that vice president immediately takes over, because he will simply be appointed acting president before the resignation of Mnangagwa. And when Mnangagwa resigns, he is leaving them as the acting president. Or he can simply move out of Zimbabwe to somewhere. Okay, I'm going on an international trip. Kwakati. Ari ikoko, then he resigns. Asia, we are acting president. According to the constitution, he is an acting president for a period of time. And that period of time so it's very, very interesting, guys, what is happening in the political arena. And some of these things sometimes understand, because I have seen my suggestions aripo kana kuti ngati ma options ana Mnangagwa from reliable sources. I think I'm not privileged to talk much about them, but I just gave you one, and it's very, very interesting.